Welcome to the Q&A session today. I'm super excited. And let's see, let's mute other people. And then we have a good audio. Perfect. So this is what we do today. I have prepared all the questions, what all of you filled out in the form, and I show it in the screen afterwards, and we go through every single question. And at the end, you can mute yourself, unmute yourself, and basically ask another question when you want to know something more specifically. And before we go right into this, let me introduce myself to those that are new, to those that don't know me. And I'm from Austria originally, and I started network marketing 2018, because I saw this business and I wanted just one thing. I lived in Austria. I worked as a chef. I worked crazy amounts of hours. I worked like 6 days a week. I earned $1,700, and it was just not enough to live a good life. So, and for me, it was always curious, like, what are other people doing? So how can they have a better life? Because I worked in a 5-star hotel and people paid 1,700 euros for one night sleeping in the hotel, and I earned that amount the entire month. So I was like, there must be a better way. So, and I got introduced to network marketing, and I saw this business, and I thought, okay, I was like, I only need to learn how to recruit people. Because if I'm good at recruiting people, I can constantly bring in new people, even when somebody quits or when somebody doesn't do anything anymore. So I just need to focus on that one skill. Later in my journey, I learned that this is not enough. It's just the first stage that you're good at recruiting. The second thing is, how do you lead your team that they actually produce volume like crazy? So, and that's the second challenge. And what I want to do today, because I was always focusing on how to build this business online. And I lived the first 25 years in Austria, and I said, if I build this business, I want to know how that works just on Instagram. And I want to be everywhere in Dominican Republic, Mexico, Dubai, Egypt, and I want to be able to make money from all around the world. And the only thing what I thought, I was like, okay, I need to find a way to build this just on Instagram. And that was basically the entire thing what I wanted to learn. I was like, I need to find a way how to do this. And I recruited more than 120 people on Instagram, just complete strangers who didn't even know that I exist. And I had them in less than 2 weeks in the business. Of course, not everybody, but I just know some frameworks what you can use, especially on social media, how to ask questions and how to enroll people. And this is what the whole session is about. It's like, I want to help you to get unstuck, and I want to provide you with some value, what you can implement directly after the call. And it took me more than 3 years to make more than $3,000 in the business. And it took me another 2 years to make more than $12,000 in the business. And my goal is to save you a lot of time in the next 60 minutes. And maybe you can type in the chat, where are you tuning in from? Which city, which place? It will be super interesting. And I will share my screen in the meantime. And then we get the party started. So the first question what we have is, how can I grow my page organically? And what is interesting, there are two things what works extremely well. And I explain two ways. First is you need to create videos where people actually see who you are and they can connect with you. For example, what doesn't work very well is when you hide behind some videos or when you hide behind some landscape videos and you don't show yourself. That doesn't really work. What really works well, and this is what you actually need to get trust as well, when they feel a connection with you, they need to feel a connection, the people that watch your story. And the easiest way to do this is by showing up and by speaking in the camera. So for example, Reels, if they have some valuable insight. And the thing is, it always becomes more difficult because there are always more people on social media who want to have some slice from the cake. So it's, for example, 4 or 5 years ago, it was enough when you just, I don't know, cross the street and had a beautiful outfit, and it was enough to give you a couple thousand views. Now there are so many people on it, so you really need to provide some value where people say, okay, I learned something while I watched this. And this is how they grow. And this is how you can grow. So another thing is, what really helps you to grow is when you go live with somebody else. And maybe when you watch this video now, this is your task for the next week. Look for 2 people that are in the same network marketing company or maybe somebody from your team, and make a live video on Instagram directly, and you speak about why it makes sense to join that business. And you will see it works amazingly, because the best case is when you find somebody that has a bigger audience what you have. Then it makes sense it always makes more sense when the person with the bigger audience goes live and you join. So for example, if you have 500 followers and the other one has 2,000, it makes more sense when the other person is starting the live and you join, because then you get more views and more reach. And this is also like all the content strategies. What I give here is just not just to grow the page. It's the purpose is that this sooner or later leads to a sale, because this is what I actually want. I don't want to have a page where I get like 1 million views on one reel, but I'm not able to monetize it. I rather have 2,000 views and I make a couple $1,000s on that video. So this is, for example, what I prefer, because that actually pays the bills and makes a huge difference. And focus on that for the next week. You focus on 2 people that you interview from your team, or that can be from your sideline, cross-line, it doesn't matter. Take 2 people and speak about why it makes sense to start network marketing. This is one part. The other part is you take 2 or 3 people when you have already a team from your organization that you recruit already, and you help them to tell the story and explain the business to the audience what he has. Because what you can do basically afterwards is you can message all the people that are actually joining that live video. And this is what I did, and that worked extremely well. I got once somebody in the business who paid $4,500 to get started, because I made a live video of somebody that I enrolled. And I said, hey, let's do a live video. I help you to explain the business that it makes sense. You can practice your communication skills a bit, but I'm talking 90% and you're just listening 10%. And that was a strategy I followed that worked extremely well. And that's what I do. Of course, I cannot like focus in that call now completely on all the real strategies, but we can do definitely later. How to create a good content plan for social media, and should I also post about privacy in the feed? What about 80-20? So your content should be, especially in the stories, it should be a video where you speak and where you talk about some random stuff, just that people get to know you. And Tanya is amazing at it. Every time I look at her stories, you're just like making videos and you speak about things. That's super cool, because most people don't do that. And this is what you actually need. And you know what is so interesting? And the question is, and should I also post about privacy in the feed? You only post the things you feel comfortable with. And you only show the things what you would like to show. It doesn't make any sense to show something what you don't want to show. So for example, it doesn't make sense to speak all the time about business, because people also get bored. So what I did, for example, sometimes when I have a random thought that just comes in my mind. And then I have the thought and I'm thinking about this. And then I'm like, I could actually make a story and speak about that. And because like we all have like thoughts in the head, we think about something else, blah, blah, blah. And this is a perfect piece of content what you can upload on Instagram. And I give you an example. And even that example led to a conversation, and the person ended up in my coaching program just because of that one story what I uploaded. And that has nothing to do with the business. And what I said is basically when I was at the pool and I was looking at the phone, and I think it was December. And I said, it's so crazy. I never know which month actually is. because in Miami it's just warm or it's super warm. So there's like nothing in between. So and it feels like it almost feels the same. So you never know what month it really is. And one person replied and she said, that's so crazy. This is the reason why I need like 4 seasons, because I need to feel the weather and I like it when it's cold, warm, snowy, and autumn. And I really liked it. And then I had a conversation with her, and she was also network marketing, and they were just talking. And then she ended up in my coaching program based on a random thought, what I shared on Instagram. And this is the private part, basically, what you share. Another thing what you share on Instagram is the perks, what people have when they join your business. What is the actual benefit for them? And when you are in the travel business, for example, you show how people can travel better, or when they get discounts or something like this, or how people actually change their lives when they join your business. This is so important because everybody shows the facts. Everybody shows the facts of the like all what you have, but nobody actually shows the stories. And this is actually what is selling. Because if you only focus on that, it's basically most of the people on social media, and especially those in network marketing, they always show the proof. They always show the promise. They promise you basically, you get this, you can travel better, you can do this, you can have this and this and this and this. And I show all the time what's actually possible instead of really showing the proof how other people made it. And if you focus on that, you get much more people in the business. Because when I have the feeling that I miss out on something, and this is super interesting now, when I have the feeling that somebody has something what I also could have, but I don't do it because I don't want to send a message, sooner or later I will talk to that person. So because if I, for example, see there are some people in the travel business and I see them, they save all the time a couple $100 when they book travel, and I see this over a long period of time, and I want to make a vacation and I try to book it, and I see that I have to pay much more than all the other people what I saw in that one person's story for the last 6 months. That's kind of triggering. So it's basically the fear of missing out is what is selling incredibly well on social media. So for example, and that principle works with literally everything. So when I was speaking about the DM service, and I said I invested $7,000, I invested $80 in that guy, and I earned $7,000 because of that investment. People are like, okay, the guy found something what I don't know about. I need to find out what it is because I want to pay $80 and get 7,000. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. What most people don't see is the endless content what I created over the last 6 months, is the reach out what the DM service did, for example, in April, and after like 6, 7 months, they just joined the business. This is what people don't see. And that takes over time. It's basically all the puzzles what you need in order to get that result. And this is what is selling the best when people have the feeling that they miss out on something. How do you make the recruitment phase natural? I don't have fast following, and my following is by the travel community. So how do I make my post connect with new people? The way how to make your recruitment phase natural is by not trying to recruit people, is by just following and listening to the needs of the other person. So let's say there wouldn't be network marketing, you don't have anything to sell, and your goal is just one thing, that you find out how you can improve the other person's life. So let's say somebody comes to you and say, your job is now, I pay you $5,000 a month, and the only task what you have is you need to give me by the end of the day of 3 people what they would like to improve in their life, what they don't like about their situation, and that's all. And why do you think they would be amazing at building a business, meeting people, talking to people? Basically 3 reasons what they would change and 3 reasons why you think they would be good at this. So, and if you would just deliver, that's your only task. Your goal is not to recruit, because nobody wants to get recruited, but everybody wants to receive an information what could change their life completely. And if you focus on that, then your recruitment phase becomes so natural because you are genuinely interested in other people. And I don't have a fast following, and my following is by the travel community. So what you need to do basically in that situation is you cannot control if a video goes viral, because there are so many factors and it's very difficult to make that actually happen. But the only thing what you can control is how many new conversations do you start. That's the only thing that you can do. And you cannot even force somebody to join, because if you have to force them that they join, you also have to force them that they do something and they won't work at all. So your only goal is to initiate the conversation. Your only goal is to plant the seed. Because if you plant the seed so many times, the plant will grow. The seed will pop up and there will come like a little branch. And that's the only thing that you can control. Everything else is not under your control. And if you know that, then you also know how to grow your business, is by starting new conversations. How can I get more customers? By not speaking about the facts, by telling stories of somebody else. So if I have, for example, a protein shake, nobody actually buys the protein shake. The people buy feeling fantastic when they walk on the beach. They buy looking amazing when I brush my teeth without a shirt before I go to bed. This is what people buy. So if we know that this is what people buy, then we need to show people that actually create the result. So, and how you do that is by showing how people actually changed their lives, how they lost weight, or how they, I don't know, traveled with a better price, or they had a transformation. And what you always do is when you show up in the camera and when you speak, because people need to have the feeling that they know you. Second thing is you show a before and after. That can be either a testimonial from the product. If you want to get more customers, then it makes more sense to show the testimonial. And afterwards, you make a poll where you let people vote. So for example, in the weight loss, I show it before and after of somebody that lost weight. And then I make a poll and I say, what would you like to improve? I would like to lose 5 to 10 pounds. I would like to have more muscles. I would like to do this and this and this. And then you let them vote. But the thing is, it only works well when you show up in the stories, when you show before and after, and then you let them vote on the stories. Because these are all people that are interested in you. They all clicked somewhere. And some people, of course, they click by accident, but your task is still to reach out to them and say, hey, I've seen, or thank you for engaging with my content. What is difficult for you when it comes to losing 5 to 10 pounds? And then you just lead the conversation. And this is how you get customers, especially on social media. What sort of content should I be posting to gain more followers and signups? The content that gives more signups are 100% results from other people. And the more often you showcase other success stories from so many different people, how they changed their lives, and it's always important that you always show how their life looked like before. What I see all the time, because I follow a lot of people in network marketing, they always show how their life looks like now. And nobody can build a relationship to those people because they just appear as successful. They just came here like randomly with a golden spoon in their mouth, and now they have success. But what people actually don't show is how their life looked before they joined the business. And this is so important, that you actually show how was their life before. How did their day-to-day life look like before they built the business. And the more horrible that was, the better it is to sell it, you know? And this works extremely well. So what you can do basically now, you could talk with people that are in your business, and you look for people that are already full-time in network marketing, and you message them and you say, hey, how was your life before you went full-time to network marketing? So how did your life look like? Or what you didn't like about your situation? And then they will tell you something. And what you could do basically is you could make a video and you can say, I need to tell you something now. It's super interesting. I spoke with somebody from the business. She's also building the same business what I built. And she told me that when she was working as a nurse, she worked endless hours. She worked even night shifts. Her biorhythm was completely destroyed. And she didn't even have enough vacation. She only went like maybe 20 days a year. And now she built that business. And now she has 365 days vacation. She can do this and this and this and this and this, and her life changed completely because she's now full-time a business owner and she doesn't have to work for somebody else. And then you can say, would you also quit your job if you have another option would bring you more money? And then you let people vote, yes, no. You know, and this is, for example, this is how you sell. And this is the content that actually brings you signups. And I've shared so much about opportunity, but I have very little engagement or interest, and I feel I talk too much about the opportunity, but that's only because I want to help people, and I know not everyone gets it. So I feel I need to indirectly somehow sell this opportunity, maybe. So the thing is, you can never promote too much because people don't pay attention anyways. And what I would constantly do is I would just focusing on having conversations and try to find out if I can help somehow to improve the situation of the other person. If you do this step before you show the business, you have such a higher sign-up rate. It's completely insane. And what people don't understand is that you actually need that information before you introduce them to the business because you need it anyways at the closing process. Because when you close them and they say, no, I think it's nothing for me. It's easy to say no to network marketing, but it's very difficult to say no to the dreams what they have. And if you don't know the dreams, you cannot argue at the end why they should join because you didn't find out the dreams. If that makes sense so far, just comment a one in the chat. Best way to speak to people about my travel business, what type of content to pull up to attract people. And the only goal what you should follow is you either show people how they get a benefit when they book a travel with you. That's one thing. The second thing is that you show results of people that are in the travel business. And the goal what you should follow is you need to educate people about network marketing in general, because you don't want to say all the time travel business, because you need to understand, people need to understand that network marketing is a better way how they can improve any situation where they're in. So your goal is to educate people about that profession in general. So for example, why it makes sense to start network marketing part-time. And then you think about some reasons. Why does it make sense to start it part-time? And then you could say, okay, because I have a very low entry. It costs me, I don't know, $500 to start. I can build it in any country that I want. I can build it all around the world. I don't start from scratch every day because every day when I work, you start from zero. If you quit in the afternoon, it doesn't mean that you get passive income for the rest of your life. And in the job, what you do basically, you start every day from scratch. And the network marketing is different because it ends up. If I sell somebody a protein shake today and he buys the protein shake a year later, I still make money from that conversation what I had a year ago. So, and the longer I build it, the more interesting it becomes because it adds up. All the income stacks up. And that's what's the beautiful part about the business. And this is what I don't have in a job. It's not that I have the chance that I can actually break out of the system by just working a regular job. It's just not possible. That system is not designed to do that. So you tell people, and your goal is to show them what they actually get when they join the business. And that's really good. Just in general, how to recruit quality people on Instagram. So first of all, you need to, if you really want high quality people, you need to take a look at yourself first. If you tick all the boxes that you qualify for high quality people. And one of them is, for example, do people see if they work with you that they actually can create a better life? Do they see every day or at least 5 times a week a testimonial how people make money when they work with you? Do you speak every day in your stories? Do they see that there is momentum going on for like at least 6 months straight? Do they see that you show up even if you don't like it? Do you take care of the way how you show up in general? Do you go in the gym? Do you eat healthy? Are you a role model for other people? Because what people understand is this. If I decide to join somebody's business, I always buy their life. And I ask myself, and this is, this is interesting. Your prospect is asking that question. Do I want to be like that person in the future? Because this is what actually will happen. They become like you. They start the business, they learn from you, they learn how you speak, they learn the skills, and they end up in your situation when they do the things that you did in the last 5 years. So now the question is, are you that person that lives such an extraordinary life? Do you treat people very well? Do you show up every day even if you don't want? Do you show the success stories of other people? Are you honest? Are you genuine? This is what people feel. And if you're that person now and you tick like all the boxes, then you can say, okay, what is for me a high quality person? Let's say on Instagram. And I would say for me, a high quality person is somebody that is already used to creating content, is already showing their life on social media, but is not making money from that. For example, has 500, at least 500 followers or 1,000 followers, and is showing up every day on social media and is used to speaking in the camera, is used to engage with other people, provide somehow value in any way. This is for me a high quality person on social media. Because if I take a person like that and I implement it in the system, what the network marketing company is providing, I can definitely help him with the skills what he has to make more money than what he is doing now. And this is what I would look for. And let's say if not on Instagram, I would look for somebody that is disciplined. I would look for somebody that has charisma, and I would look for somebody that is hungry for a better life. It doesn't make sense to take anybody who has like all the amazing qualities, but says, I work as an engineer, I make under $20,000 a year. I don't want to do anything at all. Even when he has all those qualities, it's useless because the person doesn't want to change. So you need to find somebody that is, for example, showing up on social media, creating already like a small audience, but didn't find a business what he can actually build on social media. This is what a high quality person is for me. How to handle objections of scam and people disappearing after they made up their mind it is a scam. So there is one method what I really like to use, and that's called feel, felt, found, flow. So when somebody says, oh, that's a pyramid scheme, then I say, I understand. I thought the same like you did. When I saw the business for the first time, I really thought that's a pyramid scheme because I couldn't tell the difference. But I knew one thing. I want to improve my life. And at the same thing, I don't want to be involved in some illegal activities. So what I did is I compared network marketing and pyramid schemes. And did you know that network marketing has a real product and you don't make money on recruiting? You only make money when a product is moving from person A to person B. And in a pyramid scheme, it's not the case. There is no value and people just pay for nothing. And then I found out that this business where I'm involved is actual network marketing, not a pyramid scheme. Does it make sense for you? So, and this is how I basically give it back. Because I always tell him that I felt like you, I understand where you come from, and I found out that. And then you explain him basically why it's not a scam. And this is what you just need to practice a little bit. And that helps you so much. So for example, look, even now when you have, let's say you recruit already 20 people and somebody says, yeah, that sounds cool, but I'm not the person. I don't know so much people. I don't know where I find those. I know maybe I have like, I don't know, 20 contacts in my phone book. So I don't know where I should take all the people from. Then I say, I understand. I thought the same, but you need to understand one thing. If you knew now, every person would sign up immediately. And if you would have them all already prepared, you would be a millionaire by next week. But that wouldn't work. But what I realized, I recruited 20 people so far. 2 of them I knew before I started network marketing, and the other 18 I met after I joined the business because I was actively looking for people. And what will happen when you actually search, you will find. So if you search for people, you will find people to join. And you don't need to know them all now because you get to know them over time when you join the business. Does it make sense? And then they say yes. And this is what you do basically with all the objections that you have. How to get to generation C and older generation, how to recruit online, offline faster. The thing is, with the generations, it's always, there's like not a strategic thing what really works only for the young generation and only what works for the older generation. Every person on the planet, it doesn't matter where they're living and how old they are, they have a dream. And if the young kid has a dream of driving a Lamborghini, the older generation has the dream to have more money when they are retiring and don't live from paycheck to paycheck, you know? And the only thing how you actually can find that out is by listening and asking questions. So there is not a generic answer to that where you can say, do this for the old people, do this for the young people. The thing is, you just need to ask questions. You just need to be interested and say, hey, where are you in right now? What does your life look like? So if money and time had no relevance, how would you spend your day? Right? So, and then you just find out what could you improve. How to recruit offline faster. The thing is, it's the same if you would say, how can I get a six-pack quick? It's very difficult to get a six-pack quick because everything was worth having takes time. And it's not that you can say, I need the shortcut now. So how can I recruit fast people? The only thing what you can do fast is when you bring in more people into the pipeline, when you bring in more people into the process. And what I mean by that is by just having more invitations where you actually invite people to see the business. How to help my partners want to grow and to do the right steps so they can grow. Okay. The thing is, how to help my partners want to grow. So it's, I mean, if they don't want to grow, you cannot help them that they want to grow. So that always have to come from them. But if they are already in and they really want to do something, you just take your knowledge that you have and you use the knowledge, what you acquired, because you are better at dealing with objections and explaining the business better. And you take your knowledge and apply it to the people that they know. So for example, if I would recruit Sylvia, I actually don't want Sylvia in my business. I want the potential of the 500 people that she knows. And I use Sylvie as a gate to open me the door to those people. So, and this is basically what I always and if I focus on that, I know one thing. I cannot recruit everybody that just is running around in my face, because I really need good people, because it's not over when they signed up. It's just starting when they build the business. So I just focus on high quality people in general, because it's not over when they join, and I need to get her that she brings me business. She brings me some new people. So let's say I have a person that is drinking alcohol every weekend, is doing drugs, is wasting their lives. That's just a bad example, but that's not a person that you would like to have in the business, because even when they say yes, I don't have a job for the last 12 months. That's also, for example, you know what I did in the beginning? I just recruited literally everybody that I found. And when they said, I always ask, hey, what do you work? And I said, no, I don't work anything for the last 12 months. And I still kept going, and I was like recruiting them and try to bring in the business. And then later I realized I recruited so many wrong people that I actually shouldn't recruit. Because when somebody is not having a job for like 12 months, you actually don't want them in the business, because why are they not working since 12 months? Right? So it's like when you think about it. And that's super interesting. So we have 4 more questions, and then when everybody can unmute themselves and also ask something more specifically if you want. Ways to stay unique when so much noise on social media, and how to grab attention more to generate growth and more intentional targeting. Ways to stay unique. The good thing is that you don't need to find a way to stay unique, because you are actually unique. So the person that you are right now, because we are all unique. It's not that we are all the same. It's like we are born unique. But the problem is we die as a copy, because we're just focusing on other people, and then we copy other people. So, but if the thing is, and that's such a broad and generic advice, is just be authentic or be who you are. But this is actually what is selling, because people build trust with you. And how to grab attention is by telling people, when you upload a video, let's say when you upload a reel, you tell people immediately what the next video is about, or what the next 10 seconds are about, or 60 seconds. Because what you want to know is basically people scroll all the time through Instagram. And if they don't see in the first 1 or 2 seconds what the video is about, you don't give them a reason why they should watch it. And so, for example, what I can show you here is what I did on my profile. That's just an example. I have here how to find high quality leads on social media. I know immediately what the video is about. It's like how to find high quality leads on social media. And of course, I also do sometimes some fun things like this, where I just make the hook different, where people actually don't know what it's about. And that also works. It's so interesting. But this is when you when you tell them what the video is about, it definitely helps you to generate growth when you also market to the right people. So what I would do in general, I would always share some tips, what is useful for the people I would like to have in my business. So if I'm in the travel business, I share things what are helpful for people that like to travel. And that can be anything. And whenever you discover a hack, or whenever you I don't know, for example, a hack is, it's so interesting when you book a flight and when you go to the check-in and then you say it to them, if you, is it possible maybe to transfer my seat to the emergency seat because then I have more leg space. So that's, for example, a hack, what most people don't know. And mostly there is like a space available and they just transfer you to the seat where you have more leg space for free without charging anything. So this is, for example, like a hack, what most people don't know. And there's like another thing what you can do with that video, for example, when you say there's like a secret to get everything in life what you want, and that's just ask. Because if you don't ask, the answer is no already. So it just can be better. So it's already a no. And if you ask, you have to improve to get a yes. You have the chance to get a yes. And the intentional targeting is for people in the travel business, definitely people that follow some of the biggest travel pages, and some of the people are in my coaching programs here. They just know that I've mentioned it already. There are so many travel pages where all the people like and follow and stuff like this. And those are people that are perfectly for the business when you have travel. Another thing is, if let's say you have a fitness product, you could say, how can I target intentional people for my, let's say, Herbalife business? And what you could do is you could find a local gym, or you can find a gym on Instagram, and you can message everybody. You can message everybody that works out there. And you can take two kinds of people. You can take people that are in shape, they look like a Greek statue, and you can tell them that there is a business where they can actually monetize their physique and make money with that, instead of doing another job, probably with not the amount of money what they could make in Herbalife. That's one thing. The second thing is you message people that are not in the shape where they would like to be. So, for example, if you go to a local gym or you find a big gym on Instagram, you see the recent posts and you look for those people who look like that they need some transformation. And they work out already, but they need for sure some more guidance, some more help, where you can definitely help them with the product that they get in better shape. So that's another tip. I struggle to start 100 new conversations a day. What's the best way to go about it? And the thing is, 100 conversations a day is almost too much on one platform. I think on Instagram, you cannot even do that. It's on Instagram, it's around like 50. If you would say you do 50 on Facebook or 50 on Instagram, that would probably work. But for the starting conversations, I would definitely use a DM service, because that is sending out messages every single day. And that's what I use for more than 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. I have like a guy who's sending out messages in my niche. For example, because I train people in network marketing, and of course my target audience are people in network marketing. And here basically I have like all these conversations what somebody else, for example, like this, because I'm in I train people in network marketing, and the guy starts conversations like this: hey, how long have you been in network marketing? And with all the people that are somewhere in network marketing. And that's basically how I handle the reach out part, because that helps me to save a lot of time. And that makes sense when you have a lot of videos where you speak, when people know what you do based on the bio that you have, when you have your profile structured, when people see testimonials and people that how they work with you, then it makes sense to use something like this, because then you get a much better response rate. How to create good content plan for social media, and okay, we had it already. How can I convert more leads? This is interesting. That's the last question, by the way. The thing is, we speak about here that I have a lot of conversations going on, but how do I convert them that they actually join my business? And the one thing what is the most difficult part, and the thing what costs the most power, is inviting people to see the business. On the other hand, it's the most difficult part and the hardest part. On the other side, it's the thing what creates the best results. So, and how to convert more leads. So what you could do is you could go and you can just start sending out voice messages and you can invite people to see the business. So, and we all have so many chats, we all have so many conversations with people, and we know so many people that we didn't invite to see the business. So what you could do today is you could say, okay, I take now 50 people. I just take a piece of paper and I write down 50 people that I know somewhere from, that they know me, and I maybe have a little bit of relationship. And then for every single person, I think, why would they be good at the business that I'm involved, and what's in it for them? So let's say I have a friend, or I have somebody that is always like, let's say, looking up sports cars, like on Instagram, and you go on the feed, and you see like all the time like supercars, and the person has, let's say, the dream car is a Ferrari. So what you do in that situation is you never sell people your business. You always sell them, in that case, the Ferrari. Because people don't care about the business, they only care about what do I get. And the reason why it for me works so well to recruit more than 120 people, because I use this strategy for all of them, and it works for all of them. So that's so crazy, because if you learn it once, it becomes so easy and so natural and so it's just amazing. So when I have somebody and I want them to take a look at my business, what most people do wrong is they just send a text, they just send a conversation where they say, hey, I have a travel business and blah, blah, blah. And then everybody's wondering, like, why does it not work? Why do I get ghosted? And the reason why you're not getting, the reason how you not get ghosted is by sending a voice message, because people need to see how you speak, the energy, the excitement, they need to feel that. And when you tell them, for example, look, John, I remember how when we had the last conversation and you talked with me about the thing that you would like to have once a Ferrari, but you don't know how to afford it. And I keep thinking about that conversation, what we had for the last 2 weeks now. And it always stuck in my head, because a man like you're disciplined, you work out all the time, you're good at talking to people, you're so good at making friends, it becomes so natural for you. And I'm involved in a business where you can actually make more money than what you do in your current job. And if you would do this with your skills, with your determination, you could actually buy that car that you want, the Ferrari that you showed me, in the next 4 or 5 years. But you can never buy that with just a regular job that you have. Maybe that sounds crazy, but I just keep thinking about it the last few days. Are you open to check it out? What it's about? And then you just like stop the voice message. And people feel so appreciated because you put an honest compliment. You appreciate them. Nobody ever hears in today's world, you're good, you're so amazing, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're crushing it, your confidence level is insane. It's like people don't hear that anymore. So if you come along and you just say that to people and you lift them up, you say, what do I really admire about that person? What do I really appreciate about that friendship? And then I invite them and I say at the same time that he could have his dream fulfilled in the next few years with a plan. And if he's just open to look at it, I don't say I open to send me now $2,000. I just say I open to check it out. It's so easy to collect a yes. And if I get a yes, I just call him up and I say, look, and then basically I explain him why he cannot afford it with his regular job. And there is no way that he's going to die with 75 or 80 or 90 and never drove that car. When this is his dream. So, and you always sell them the dream, because for people, it's so hard to say no to the dream. It's insane, because everybody has some dreams and you just need to take the dreams and sell it to them. And then basically afterwards, you show them the business. And then it's so much easier to get them in the business, because they know exactly, okay, if I'm going to work with him, if I'm going to work with her, if I'm going to work with Gabrielo, I get in shape, I look like a Greek god, and I can buy a Ferrari in the next 5 years if I want. And this is the only thing what I need to know. I just need to know that Gabrielo can help me to go there. He has a business, what I have no idea about, but he can show me the first steps. And I have at least a chance to make that happen. And that's the thing. Are there some more questions? Anybody wants to unmute?
I have a question.
Yo.
Can I go?
Yes, ready.
Okay, now I was reflecting. First of all, I want to say thank you, Alex, because you are giving so much value. I've been writing so many notes, so thank you for doing this today.
Yep.
Now, around the last reflection that you were doing, like building trust, be authentic. The moment we recruit someone, now, for example, that example that you were saying about, the Ferrari.
Mhm.
How can a person trust me if I have not somehow achieved something similar yet? So how can I build that kind of trust? How can I say you can buy, a Ferrari in 5 years? And if I'm not being able yet, how can I bring
Mhm.
that value?
That's a good question. It's because you also get mentored by other people that have the better life, what is for sure interesting for the prospect that you have. So for example, look, if you're started, for example, and let's take the Ferrari example, and I'm sure there are some people that what you can find in Herbalife that drive somewhere a supercar. I would find them for sure, and I can say, look, of course it doesn't happen in the next 2 years, or it doesn't happen in the next 3 years, but it will happen if you keep going because this guy started Herbalife 10 years ago, and look what he has now. And you know what the best part is? If you would message him now and you will join him, I wouldn't even do that. You know why? Because the person is already at the top. He's not that hungry anymore. And he doesn't have so much time for you. What you need in the beginning, the attention, what you need, all the questions that you will have, he cannot answer that because his team, he has more than 150,000 people in his organization. But if you join me, you get the same knowledge and I have the time because I'm already in the middle field. I'm not there where I want to be, but I'm not in the beginning. But I can show you the first steps and I'll be there every day, every second of your journey. And that's a really good point. I wouldn't join somebody that is at the top because I know I don't get the attention what I want in the beginning. I would, yeah, I would join somebody in the middle field.
Thank
I
you.
also have a question.
Yo.
Thank you very much, Alex. I was writing down a lot. I was thinking about what time it is the best to implement some automatic systems for recruiting, and how many people do I have to have in my business? How many partners? When does it make sense to implement such systems you talked about?
You mean the DM service, for example?
Yeah, for example, I know, for example, also Novalia, that's like AI based system. Or do you recommend AI systems or
Yes, for sure. If it's helpful, definitely makes sense.
mhm.
So, but I'm not sure how. So let's take Nowsite for an example, where it's definitely good for people in the beginning that don't know what to say. That's that because like what you can do with all the chats, when somebody comments somewhere, that's definitely good. But I also need to learn it by myself. This is the thing because I cannot always hide myself behind the screen. What if I see people in real life and they say, "Is it a pyramid scheme?" I cannot go on outside and say somebody says it's a pyramid scheme. I still need to be sharp and I still need to answer with
Yeah, the system is like that. It's just writing the first questions and then it's changing so you can talk to them then later.
yes. I mean the thing is what you just need to think about what are your activities that you do when it comes to building your business and how much is the return on investment when you do the thing that you do. So, for example, I knew that I have to start new conversations daily because otherwise I don't have so many people to talk to. But at the same time, I know it just takes me also like 45 minutes to start a conversation like with so many people at the same time for 50 people. So I need to find somebody who can do that for me. And if I can pay somebody to do that, it makes definitely sense at any stage, because it gives you more. Because look, your 45 minutes, if you do a sales call in the 45 minutes and you sell them a 1,250 euro package in your company, you make $250. It's a better investment for your time to do that instead of taking 45 minutes and hammering out those messages what somebody else can do for $80. You know, this is for example what I'm always like thinking.
Okay, thank you.
Can I add something else on top of that?
Sure.
Or for the DM. Now, let's say the DM it's hired for 1 hour. How does the DM service keep the conversation authentic? If it's been hired for more than how many hours? I don't know. How does that work?
The DM service is not keeping the conversation authentic. He's just starting the first conversation with a potential prospect that
Okay.
is in your target audience. So it's basically a person that is logging in your profile and he's sending out messages. For example, like for me, it's easy. I send him people like network marketing profiles, for example, like Eric Worre. I send him, look, all those people here, they are in network marketing because otherwise they wouldn't follow him, most of them. You just message them when they comment somewhere and you just look for those people. So the chance is very high that I get network marketing people based on that target audience, what I give him. In your situation, I would definitely take chefs, people that work in the hospitality industry, things like this, because and that has to be so easy where people are very likely to reply. Nothing complicated. Not like this is the business and you explain it, blah, blah, because then nobody is replying. For example, look, you look for it. If I look for the hashtag chef on Instagram, I find probably like 1 million posts. And you could message the DM service and say, hey, send out those messages to people that use the hashtag, and you just message them, hey, John, so hey, name. I've seen you're a chef. I work as a chef too. I live in Denmark. When did you start working as a chef? Because look, I read the question and I can answer that in a second without thinking about it. Because I say, oh, okay, yeah, no, 7 years. You know? And then you can say, ah, nice. Was it always your dream job? You know, and this is basically, and this can easily do somebody else. And that's what I would do. I would just hammer those people that are in the hospitality industry, or even a waiter. You can even message waiter. Say, hey, I've seen you're a waiter. I work in hospitality industry too. I'm a chef. Where are you from? I don't know. You know?
Is there a specific amount of conversations like with the same person that you do before you talk about business that you do, or no, you think like it's something that you feel it?
You mean when I start shifting the conversation to business?
Yeah.
I do this when I know that I can help him to create a better life. And I know I invite him to see the business when I know that he wants to change something. Because this is what I need for the invitation. Sylvie, you also have a question, right?
Uh, Hi, I just wanted to say thank you. It was really, really good. I like how you are so authentic and genuine.
Thank you.
I hope I did it I said it the right way, but it was really fun and um like um like family, you know.
Yes,
Yeah, it was very
that's
good.
family here. My network
Yeah,
marketing family.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yes. Perfect. Awesome. You can also make a screenshot or a picture, put it up on Instagram, tag me, and then I can also repost it and share it. Then we also get more reach and stuff like this. Tanya, do you have some questions? I mean, you're already in my program.
I was going to say, I think I'll save them for you for tomorrow. I've got a list.
Awesome. How do you
But
like
I've I've started using the DM service, everyone, and it's only been a week in for me. And I look at how many messages you're sending out, and I'm like, whoa, that would take me an age to do. But yeah, no, it's good. You see all this activity in your Instagram. It's like, oh wow, I've been busy.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been busy. I'm sending out so many messages.
Yeah, I did that in my sleep. No, it's good. I've had a few conversations, which is good. I think it's just going to be a little bit of tweaking who we're targeting and maybe the question and stuff. I think I'll just play with it over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I was going to talk to you about that tomorrow. But
yes, let's talk tomorrow.
But thank you again for today. As always,
you're welcome.
Some extras as well.
And see you next time.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Perfect.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.